Hello and welcome. My name's Brad, and you've landed on the Heart and Soul Wellness Channel. We're physically located in Marble Falls, Texas, and our mission, our goal, is to provide you with healthy bodyweight exercises in the forms of non-traditional power yoga, yin yoga, yin yoga, meditation, and breathing exercises, all with the mission to heal. I believe that motion is lotion and movement's medicine, so you're invited to go get on your mat, grab your hand towel, a water bottle, and anything else you need to take care of yourself. Be willing to slow the video down, pause, or do anything you need to do. See you on your mat.
Hello and welcome. We're going to start in child's pose. Just taking your knees wider than your chest, taking your big toes to touch, set your hips back to your heels. Let everything that's going on in your world fall to your mat. Just allow all your muscle tension to release any holding. Start to really dial into your breath. Start to bring your inhales in a little slower, a little deeper. Start to use full exhalations. Allowing your breath to be enough to fill you up. Allow your breath to be a rinse, cleanse. Whatever dis-ease that you have going on, whatever tension, it's an opportunity to let go. Knowing that yoga is really a practice, and it's a practice wherever you are, not just on your mat. Yoga is a sense of well-being, a sense of calmness, a sense of everything's going to be okay. Because it is, really. Some deep, full breaths. Really going to use this practice today as a way to wake up. I want you to reach your arms out, come up onto your tippy fingers, and start to activate. Start to actively lift your elbows off the floor, press into your fingertips, and pressing your heels back. Knowing that this is a practice that you have your own body. Nobody has your body. You have nobody else's body. This is a practice for you in your body. Setting an intention, a purpose, a reason. Coming on up into some movement, some cat-cows. Just round your back. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, press into your mat. Round. Inhale, drop your belly, look up. Exhale, squeeze your belly. Inhale, tailbone to the ceiling. Exhale. Then you're going to extend your left leg back, spread out your toes, pull your knee into your chin, and stretch it away. Pulling in, squeeze in, stretch away. And in, press the floor, squeeze your core, and reach back. In, squeeze, and out, reach. One more time. In, and squeeze, and reach. And extend your right arm forward, spread your fingers out. Hug your belly. Let your breath be fluid. Press into your left hand. Squeeze your core. Doesn't have to be hard. You want to really try to keep your neck soft, your breath soft, your tongue soft. Coming into a modified side plank. So your left hand staying on the ground, your left knee's down. Reach up through your right hand. Just an opportunity to open up your chest, open up your heart, physical opening of your heart. People talk about opening your heart, and this is an opportunity to physically open your heart, open your chest. Press down in the outer edge of your back foot. Press down in your left knee and then reach up even more through your fingertips, pressing into your left hand. See your right thumb, the one up in the air. Breathe. Just trying to bring in a little bit of heat. Letting this practice be your practice, so not competing with even with yourself, giving yourself some real love today. An opportunity to get into your skin, your body, extended side angle. So you're going to extend your right fingertips, your right arm over you, and then really bring your right shoulder out of the socket. Press into your right foot and open up all of your ribs. Roll and open. See your right palm faces the floor. Press into the left hand even more. And dropping your right hand down. Extend your left leg back. You're going to take your right hand, grab your left foot, kick and lift. Just trying to straighten your left leg. Really pressing your left foot into your right hand. I've really not ever seen anyone actually be able to straighten their left leg here, but see if you can straighten yours. Pressing, hugging your core, flowing your breath. Extend your right hand, extend your left foot. Right hand to the ground, squeeze your left knee up into your lips. Stretch your left foot over your right. Take a look at your left foot over your right shoulder. So your left toes are on the ground, you're looking at your left heel. Back. And extending your right leg back. Then you're going to pull your right knee all the way into your lips. It's not really necessary that you touch your lips, but see if you can get your knee to kiss your lips and then extend it away. Pull it in. And press it away. Spread your toes. Pull in, press down. Stretch back. Reach. And in, squeeze, round. Press it away. One more hug and squeeze in. Reach back. Extend your left arm forward. Spread your right toes. Soften your face. Really in yoga, there's a couple of schools of yoga and asana yoga. One being the school of heat and power and moving And really the other one being the school of holding, building a little internal heat. Modified side plank. So your right knee's on the floor, right hand's on the floor. Extend up through your left fingertips. Squeezing your left leg. Set your gaze right at your left thumb. Spill your breath in. Fill your space with your breath out. Extended side angle. So you're reaching left arm over you. Look up and see your left palm, and then pulling your left arm bone out of the socket. Open up between all of your ribs. Reach and press through your back foot. Okay, bring in your left arm down, extend your left leg back, reach like you're pressing into the wall, and then pull your knee into your lips. Squeeze in, all fours, hands and knees. Coming into a down dog. If you need to move around, squirm around, do that. But when you can, come into some stillness today. Using this down dog to build some heat, some opening, some strength, some surrender. It's going to stretch your fingers out wide. Press into the tips of your fingers. Pull your heart directionally back toward your thighs. And spread your sit bones. Today, I just want you to be challenged by your breath. Knowing that this practice is not a competition. It's not about how much you do. It's really more how much you can focus. Just letting all your thoughts spill out. Any negative energy you want to get rid of, it's an opportunity to let it go. Squeeze your thighs. Squeeze your core. And draw your hands toward one another more. Just creating some strength through our own body, through our own body weight, through our own body resistance. Using this both as a strengthening practice and as an opening practice. Another big round of breath. Drop your forearms to the floor. Walk your feet a little closer in, dolphin. A little directional pull of your arms back toward your feet. You're here to get stronger, maybe to let go more, open more. Receiving. I find these kind of practices challenging. I don't know about you, but these longer holds, my mind starts to wander. I come in and out of my breath, come in and out of my willingness to want to stay or want to move or squirm. Can you just be still in some of these poses? Coming into a plank, so just dropping your hips down, walking your feet back. You're in a forearm plank. Squeeze your belly. Squeeze your thighs. And pull your elbows back. Eight minutes in one of these kind of poses. Can you imagine what 8 minutes would do in like this pose? Like how much energy, how much strength it would take to be here 8 minutes? I mean, you're not going to be here 8 minutes in this pose, but you could be. I mean, you could actually pause the video here in a moment and just stay in it an extra minute or two to hit that 8 minute mark. And if you're sitting there asking yourself, what the heck, why did I choose to do this video? Should I just turn it off? I don't know. I mean, I don't know the answer to that, but I would say probably if you want to leave, if you want to move, maybe you need this more than you think. Find some stillness. Find a challenge that you're not used to, that you can't just be moving or running or biking or swimming, doing. Really all you're here doing now is you're just on your forearms, on your toes, squeezing your belly, squeezing your thighs, and breathing. That's it. Maybe a little shaking. Okay, drop your hips down to the floor, uncurl your toes. Just a little baby back bend, Sphinx pose, just keeping your forearms, elbows underneath your shoulders. Just enjoy the stretch. Draw your collarbones back and down. Open up your chest. Squeeze your thighs, squeeze your glutes. Make this an active pose. Soften the back of your neck. A little chin tuck. A little lengthening through back of the neck. Keep drawing your shoulders toward your spine. Come on down, walk your hands back, come up. Little cobra pose. Draw your shoulders back and away from your ears. Activate your thighs. Press your feet into the ground. Take a few breaths. Active core here. Come on down. Curl your toes under. Lift your hips. Press all the way up into a high plank. High push up and then press back into a down dog. Walk it out. Move it around a little. Step your feet apart and take your left hand outside of your right ankle or outside of your right leg. Take a little twist, a little opening. Taking out all the fluff. Keep pulling with your hand, looking up underneath, and switch. Left hand comes to the ground, right hand reaches to your outer left leg, twist. Hug your belly, yogi. Press into your left hand. And breathe. Release. Come onto your knees. Sit back. So you're going to take your knees a little wider than your chest. Your feet are touching. You can stay right here. You can sit on a block even. If you need a block to sit on, do that. Take care of your knees. Put a blanket under your knees. Do something to take care of your knees if you need it. You can always lay back. If you can lay all the way back, lay back. Going about as far as I can comfortably go. Collarbones opening up. Just waiting patiently for some more opening. Maybe you come onto your elbows if that opens up for you, or maybe you're laying all the way flat, or maybe you're sitting up nice and tall, or maybe you even have to lean a little forward. You find your place that challenges you intelligently from a place of listening to your body, yogi. Drop in your resistance. Breathing in deep. Find a little way, or find some way to be still. Brain just wants to move, avoid what we feel by moving the body. Can you just sit back, press your knees down and toward the front of your mat, reach back to the top of your head, make some space. Starting to make your way up. Come on, take into a wide leg seated fold. So right here, if you're new to this pose, when I first started I was on a block or maybe even 2 blocks. You can put blocks underneath your knees, you can put blankets under your knees. Pull your toes back, start to walk your hands forward. And then activate your thighs, squeeze your thighs, spread your toes. So we're really staying active today versus a letting go of a yin style practice. We're really we're really using the body to actively stretch in some of these end range stretches. You can let your head drop, your brain drop, your thoughts drop. And if you want, you can go ahead right now and hook your first 2 fingers around your big toes. Pull your head to the floor to your best ability. And it's funny because for me, I really wanted to touch the floor when I first started doing yoga. And a teacher said to me, well, Brad, you know what happens when you touch the floor? I'm like, No. And they're like, you just touched the floor. Okay. It's not about being Gumby. There's no evidence that being flexible people are any healthier. It's really about bringing some flexibility into your life. Spread your toes. Let your breath heal. It's the healing qualities of deep breathing. Breathing in fully all the way into the bottom of the belly. And letting every breath spill all the way out. Squeezing your thighs. Just getting every drop of the goodness of this practice. Okay, coming up, and you're just going to twist toward your right leg. And if either elbow comes to the ground first, it's your left elbow to the ground first. So you can, if you like, take your left hand and grab your outer right foot, or you can put your left elbow on the floor. And if your left elbow is on the floor, you can put your right elbow on the floor. Keep pressing down and through your left sit bones. Just like that, we're out of here. We're over to the other side, the left leg. So if either elbow is on the ground, it's your left or your right elbow. Maybe looking at your left big toe. Maybe with your right hand grabbing the outer edge of your left foot. But it's your right ribs toward your inner left thigh, your inner left knee. And pressing down and back through your right hip. And up and back to center, walking your hands out. Stretching your toes out. Powerful feet. Activate. Has an opportunity activating the 100 muscles, ligaments, and tendons per foot. When else were you going to do that today? Stretching your toes apart. Squeezing your thighs, maybe even hooking your fingers around your big toes. Pull your head to the ground to your best ability. My head doesn't touch the ground. Your head doesn't have to touch the ground. It's the action here. Coming on up. Baddha Konasana, soles of your feet together. Little cat-cow action. Inhale, looking up. Exhale, round your back. Shoulders to your ears. Inhale, look up. Pull your heart to the ceiling. Exhale, round back to the back of the room. Inhale, look up. Exhale, folding forward. Walk your hands forward or grab your feet. You can put your forehead on your feet, your big toes, or you can put your head on a block. If you're like looking at me like, what are you talking about? You can keep your hands beside you. You can help yourself press your thighs apart with your hands. No place to get to. There's no winning in yoga except for the win of when we are finished, we get to feel better. That's the win. When things come up in our life, possibly we get to breathe instead of being so reactionary. Coming on up. You can take your hands behind you, take your feet about as wide as your knees, and you're just going to send your hips, your knees over to the left, to the right, left, right. A little bit of movement, low back, sacral area. Okay. And you're going to extend your right leg forward straight, pull your left leg back, point your toes toward the back of the room. A great place to sit on a block underneath your right hip, or a book, or a blanket. If it's hurting in your left knee, then obviously you can get your hips up higher. Maybe you sit up nice and tall. This is an intense pose. Folding forward, maybe reaching your left hand outside of your right foot, or left elbow to the floor inside of your right leg. Stop fidgeting. Be still. Okay, coming on up. Maybe you lay all the way back onto your back on the floor flat. Maybe you reach above you if that's happening, or if you're like not challenged there even, you can lay back and pull your right thigh up into your chest. The hug of your shin bone, or your right shin bone. Or you can sit up nice and tall, wherever you are. Breathe. Okay, starting to make your way up. Keep your left leg bent and just take your left knee directionally back toward the back of your mat as much as you can. Mine kind of comes forward or maybe out 90 degrees, but take it back as far as it'll go. And then set your hands right between your thighs. Lean forward. Maybe start to walk your hands forward. Still, maybe you need to be sitting on a block here, I don't know. And maybe you need a little bend in your right thigh, or right knee. Spread your toes. If it makes sense, deepen. Walk your hands out further. Put your forehead on the ground. Full advantage of this time. And coming on up, square yourself to your right thigh and bow. Left elbow goes on the floor first. Pull your chest toward your right thigh or even past your right knee. If it makes sense, you can put your left hand on the outer right foot and pull it back. Pull the toes back. But keep your left ribs going toward your inner right thigh. One more breath and you're releasing out, coming up into going into lizard. So you're going to walk your right foot out, walk your back foot back, come onto your forearms. If you can, curl your toes under and lift your back knee. Activate your back leg. If you need blocks under your arms here, or if you need to stay up on your hands, you can do that. Physically pull your heart away from your belly button. Even this can be a little bit of core work. Pulling your elbows back. Just passing through, breathing. You're going to drop your back knee, come up on your hands, and with your right hand, reach toward the back of the room. You're going to twist. If it's there for you, grab your left foot with your right hand. And you're going to actually kick your foot into your hand and physically pull your foot with your hand. And lift up out of your chest. Having a little tug of war competition with your foot against your hand. So you're strengthening as you're stretching. Pressing into the floor with your left hand. Lift your chest. Notice your breath. Skandasana, back of your mat. So you're going to sink back into your left heel. Lift your chest. So I want your left heel on the ground if it can possibly be there. If not, put a towel under your left heel or come up a little higher. Even better, maybe put blocks in your hands. Think about lifting your chest. Think about moving your heart, your physical heart, away from your belly button. Stretch your toes. I'm just going to switch sides. Sink down over into your right heel and then back. Just a little movement here. So back and forth, coming all the way to the end range. Test that end range. And then we're just going to set up for the other side. You're going to bend your right knee back, right foot back. If you need a block underneath your left hip, set it up. If you're all jacked up over on to your left side, putting a block under there or a blanket under there. Starting to lean forward. Left hand can support your left side if you're leaning, or if your elbow's on the floor, it's your right elbow down inside of your right thigh. Are you breathing? Coming up. Just going to lay back to the best of your ability. Maybe it's not at all, or maybe it's all the way to the floor. Just going where it makes sense for you, where it's challenging for you, where there's opening for you, opportunity. Pressing the right knee down and forward. Make some space. Okay, coming on up. Just going to take your right knee back. If you can do the full splits here, that's great, but keep your right leg back, right knee forward or out to the side. Hands right in between your thighs. Lean forward. Maybe walk your hands all the way forward. Bring your forehead down to the floor. Just coming to your end range. Okay, come up. Shift, taking your chest, squaring it to your left foot. Right elbow to the floor inside of your left thigh. Look toward your left big toe. Stretch your toes. Lift your chest, physically pulling your chest toward your toes. Just like that, release. Coming up, lizard left side. So your left foot walks up to the edge of your mat, coming onto your forearms. You can support yourself by putting blocks underneath the forearms. Curling your back toes under, lifting your back thigh. Your back leg, squeeze it straight. And set your gaze a little ahead of your mat here. Pull your chest forward. Pull your elbows back. Breaths deep and free. Set your back knee down, come up onto your hands, and your left hand's reaching for your right foot. The game of strengthening, so you're actively kicking your right foot, actively pulling with your left hand. Spread your collarbones. And release. Skandasana, top of your mat. Right side. Right heel down. Left toes spreading. And once you're set, lengthen. Maybe even walking your hands forward. Exploring what feels good in your body. And switch. Little movement back and forth. So you sink down in your left heel, switch over to your right heel, spreading your right toes, spreading your left toes. Just back and forth. And you're going to walk your hands toward your left foot. Step up into a yogi squat. Sink down. And like you're pressing your elbows into your thighs, opening up your thighs, and like you're starting to think about stacking your shoulders over your hips. Cow tall. Press down in your feet. So a little energy is pressing down in order to lift some energy up and out through the crown of your head. an opportunity to take some flight. So we're going to come up into a crow, and maybe you're lifting both feet, maybe you're just lifting one foot today, maybe you're hovering a knee between your elbows. Going to be here for about a minute. Spread your toes. A minute? I might die. I'm going to be here for a minute. I've never seen anybody die in crow. So challenging yourself. So if you need more challenge, press into your hands, start to straighten your arms. Maybe you're pressing up into a full handstand. Stretch your toes and breathe. Heels trying to lift up to your hips. Elbows straightening if possible. You're just full expression out. Jump back, step back, high plank position. Hold. Slowly lower all the way down to the ground. Cobra. Sphinx. Up dog if you like. Drawing your shoulders down and away from your ears, toward your back. Active thighs. And release. Come on down. Bend your knees. Take your knees to the left and to the right. Back and forth. Side to side. You're just going to take floor both. So you're going to grab your outer ankles. Today, keep your thighs, your knees on the ground, and lift your chest. So you're going to thighs down the ground. Take your feet, your legs toward the back of the room. Lift up, yogi. Squeeze your core. Come up higher. Stay in it. Stay with it. Stretch your toes, active feet. Last couple of breaths here. Lion's breath. Big full breath in. Lion's breath out. Release. Come up. Make your way onto your back and cross your ankles. Roll over your feet. Coming into a plow pose. Drop, lift your feet up and over you, and take your toes to the ground. Bring your ankles together. You can walk your hands up your back, or you can reach your arms forward if you like, and interlace your fingers. Press into your shoulders, lift your hips toward the ceiling. Squeeze your legs straight. You're going to start to release your hands. Walk your hands up on your back toward your shoulders. Draw your elbows together and then lift your right foot, right leg all the way up to the ceiling, and then lift your left leg all the way up to the ceiling. Spread your toes. And as much as you can, stack your hips right over your shoulders. Squeeze your core. Decompressing. So much goodness happening right here. The exact opposite of for our body, like the decompression, turning our world upside down. Wiggling your chin toward your chest. Fill your space with breath. Enjoying being upside down. And you're just going to start to move into a plow, or if it's possible, squeezing your knees, bending your knees, pressing into your ears. Ear pressure pose. So if it's possible for you, let your knees come to the ground and then squeeze your head. Being careful, being smart about this when there's a lot of pressure in the low neck, or the high neck, I guess you would say, the C-spine. So as much as possible, taking your hips over your head, maybe grabbing your feet here, the baby side edges. And if you need it, your legs are straight. You need a little relief from this one. Your shoulders can even be on a blanket as a way to modify. Keep pressing into your shoulders, lifting your hips toward the ceiling. You're going to re-straighten your legs. A little core strengthening here, so you're going to start to roll out slowly. Very, very slowly with your toes spread, legs straight, rolling out slowly. Going to come into grabbing both shin bones, giving yourself a big squeeze. Little shake. Extend your left leg forward. Hug your right shin bone in to your outer ribs, and then you're going to take your right hand to the outer edge of your right foot. Pull your right foot down. Press your right foot up to the ceiling. As you're doing that, extend through your left foot. You come into a variation of half pigeon today. So you're going to start to take your foot, take it with both hands on the top edge, the baby side edge. Keep your foot up in the air, but you want to see if you can get your big toe in your left ear. Keeping your foot high, keeping your tailbone on the ground, keeping your head on the ground. And then bend your elbows, pull your foot down and back, but keeping your foot up and away from your hips. Up in the air, using your bicep strength to pull into the foot, and then extending through your left leg, pressing through your left heel, and spreading through your left toes. Are you breathing? Now, one really great advantage of this pose, you're laying on your back, but you're strengthening your arms by pulling more, pressing more through your left leg, pulling more, elbows bent, squeeze more. Take advantage of this time. And release it. Half pigeon or half happy baby, half stirrup. Hug the shin bone, bend the knee. Bring the left leg up, hug both shin bones in. Squeeze yourself, so maybe some circles. And you're just going to switch sides. Release your right leg, pull your left shin bone to the outer ribs. Coming into half stirrup, so you're grabbing the baby side edge of your left foot. Right palms on the floor beside you, extending through the right foot. Your left thigh doesn't have to hit the ground. Doesn't have to touch. And then coming into the half pigeon modification. So you're on your back. Grab the baby side edge of your left foot. Keep the foot away from your hip. So keep it up in the air, but bring your left toe toward your right ear. Trying to put your left toes into your right ear. Pulling your foot. Creating bicep strength. Using bent elbows. Okay. Releasing. Hugging both shin bones in. Squeeze, little circles. Last couple of poses. Supine twist, knees over to the right side. If it feels good, you can grab your left baby side edge of your left foot, straighten your left leg. If that feels good, maybe you want to bend your right leg even more and take your right foot with your left hand. You know the pose if you can do it, so. Breathe. Look over your left shoulder. and switch sides. So you can release your foot, take it over both knees to the left, drop them down. You're looking over your right shoulder. If it feels good, straighten your right leg. Take your left hand to the baby side edge of your right foot. Core engaged. And releasing, just taking your feet as wide as your mat. Just a little motion, knees to the right, knees to the left, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Baddha Konasana. So the soles of your feet together, you're laying back, straight to Baddha Konasana. Incline. Let go. So you can stay here as long as you like. You can even pause or stop the video here. If you like, you can move on into a Shavasana. More of a meditative state, just simply breathing in and out. A yin style, so you're letting go. And if you're not already there, moving into Shavasana, stretching your legs out long, your feet wide, spinning your palms to face up, shoulders wiggling. Lego. And the opportunity to stay right here for 5, 7, 10 minutes or longer. Just pause the video. Whenever you're complete, just pulling your knees up into your chest, giving yourself a little squeeze, a little wiggle. Gonna roll onto your right side. And make your way up to seated, cross your legs, sit up tall, maybe even stretch your arms above you. Like reach up, press down, reach up, get long. And I say namaste. May God bless and keep you.